Now we're live.
Yep. Cool.
Cool. Who wants to start today? I guess I will.
Sure.
Good.
Which of the following might logically expect to result in rising stock price? I got A.
I chose Charlie.
I chose A, but I put a question mark next to it, so I'm open to be convinced.
Yeah, I decided to come back to this at the end too. Right off the bat, I was confused about that question.
Because I didn't really find it anywhere in the reading.
No.
Me
I
neither.
think you were supposed to look at page 458.
Oh, I have
I
it.
thought-
Is it on the wealth effect or?
That's what I thought. Like with the wealth effect, the interest rate effect, the exchange rate effect. I looked at the wealth effect and thought that A made sense, but
Yeah, I think that's where I got it from because I tried to look and I couldn't find it anywhere either.
right. And when they say investment, I never know if they mean like invest in like stock or if they're talking about invest as in like buy equipment, because that's several chapters ago. That's what they meant by investment. So I never know.
Well, I looking at it, B was wrong. B's wrong, so it's
Right.
Yeah, wrong.
Anyway. No confusion.
Yeah, if B's wrong, that means D's wrong too. So
Yeah.
so that narrows it down to A or C. So
Right.
I thought I'd found it somewhere, but I didn't write down where.
Both answers would make sense.
C is definitely the other one I was thinking about, but I don't know.
Maybe it is D. Well, maybe B isn't completely incorrect. Is it the stock prices are going? Oh,
no. So if logically expect results from rising stock prices, he's going to decrease his consumption because he's going to throw it in investments.
Yeah.
Yeah. Makes.
If you're making more money off your stocks, then
Which is I agree with that. That makes sense.
I'm just saying, not that I'm true. Don't ever answer. Don't ever go with me. But I have a proven track record of absolutely being wrong. So
I'm right there with you, dude.
Okay, so page 466, the middle paragraph, where it
We're
says
about
how
to
should.
get schooled by Raldo right here.
Well, I think it's close. It might not be exact. How should the Fed respond? That paragraph, like the last couple of sentences, it says,
Consumer spending, yes.
in addition, a rise in stock prices make it more attractive for firms to sell shares of stock, and this stimulates investment spending.
sell, yeah, not spend more on investments.
Well,
Not B. Then it says, according to that, then A is wrong. I guess fence.
yeah, I think
guess.
it's C. I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think the answer's A.
I think the answers still do.
All right. Well,
I'll keep a question mark on mine and maybe look into it further, but we can move on.
yeah, we should just move on.
See, look, I started off right, didn't I?
For number 2, I chose Delta.
Same.
Small part of the household wealth.
Yep. For number 3, I chose Bravo.
Bravo.
Me too.
Got it. For 4, I chose Alpha.
Same.
I chose Bravo for that one.
Why isn't this a word?
Heart.
Alpha or Bravo? You're gonna rise or fall, huh?
Yeah.
So the reason I chose that is because when the feds buy, that's the same as people selling bonds.
Yeah.
And when the money supply goes up, interest goes down. That's from the printout, teacher handout.
Yeah, you're right with that.
I'm good with that. Yep.
Yeah, I am good with that.
Which one was that? Bravo?
Bravo.
Yeah. I understood the chapter better as I got towards the end, but I didn't go back and revise my previous answers.
Right.
So- I think that's open.
So number 5, I chose Bravo.
I started to. I don't know why I changed it though.
But if the money supply increases, wouldn't demand shift
Goes
to
to
the
the
right?
right. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Because I'm just looking at the graph on page 471,
That's where I got that one.
and so the money supply curve is vertical. So if money goes up, then demand would have to shift to the right to keep up, right?
Yeah. That's what it says here. I think increase in the price level, increase in demand for money, increase the gold. Is that not right, Raldo? Where'd you find your answer?
Well, I didn't write down where I found it. I have notes here, but not where I can verify it.
Let me see.
I have a note that I wrote, I guess I wrote it yesterday. When the Fed purchases, they spend money into the economy, but that economy, that money wasn't there before. But,
Yeah, so when the Fed says government bonds,
but now that's not making as much sense.
yeah, because when that's adding more money to the economy, meaning there's more available for other people to purchase, therefore, and to use, which should shift it to the right.
Yes, that's what I'm looking at here. I must have circled the wrong one.
So we're good on A for that one.
Time. It happens to me all the time.
Yeah, me too.
All right, 6. Who's got 6?
I can say it's an alpha.
That's what I put.
That's what I put too.
Yes.
I also put alpha for number 7.
Yep.
I did too.
I did too.
You want to come sit, Heather?
I didn't do it.
You can join the group here. Get a
For
couple of
I got
points at least.
Heather, we just missed you. Heather?
I didn't do it, so you know.
Heather's had a bad day.
Sorry, Heather. For 8, I got Charlie.
Yeah, same.
Easy one.
For
On
8.
which one?
Zach jumps on the easy one, so he doesn't
Charlie.
have
Yep,
to.
I did. I knew I got that one. I knew it.
Yeah.
For number 9, I put A, alpha.
That's what I got.
That's what I got too. So for number 10, I had to do a lot of thinking about this, but I think I got it right. C, Charlie.
That's what I put.
Charlie.
Yeah, that took a long time to.
Yeah.
I put a lot of deciphering in that one to figure out how that one was supposed to go.
There's just a lot of arrows involved.
But they're all going down, which was cool.
Right.
Except goods and services, that goes up.
Yeah, I
Everything
had to really study the graph on 471, I think, to get to my answer on that one. But I got it.
Yeah, I got the answer from
Or not 471, but
figure 2, 463.
yeah, 463.
But it's-
That's the great.
It's
Yep.
the complete opposite of what they wrote there, so you had to kind of think about
Right.
it, make sure it was right.
For 11, I got Bravo.
I did as well.
I did, and then I changed it.
I didn't. I put alpha. Yeah, I put alpha.
Yeah, I was tossed between alpha as well.
And I only did that because in figure 2 on 463, in the little paragraph, it says an increase in the price level shifts the money demand curve to the right. So it has to,
Wait, what number is that?
but I guess it doesn't necessarily shift the aggregate demand. Maybe I read it wrong.
I wrote a note here. It says price level does not change or does not move demand curve. It removes
The aggregate demand. Okay, yeah, it moves the money demand, but not the aggregate demand. Okay, I think it is B.
Chapters is the difference between the money market and the aggregate, like the aggregate market.
Yeah.
Like, the fact that it switches back and forth and I get them mixed up in my head, like,
right.
You have to stop and think about what market are we talking about, and what set of graphs do I need to be thinking about.
Yeah, so I think it is. I think it is B. I think I got my my curves aloof.
Yeah.
Okay, so the aggregate demand goes to the right?
Well, it stays on the same curve.
It's movement along the curve.
Right.
Not the curve itself shifts.
Yeah, it doesn't shift. It stays on the line.
Oh, okay. So Bravo, right?
Bravo.
Yes. Number 12, I chose Bravo.
Do you have your math on that? Because I chose Alpha.
I also chose Alpha.
The math is you have to take 1,100 minus 10,000. Sorry, 11,000 minus 10,000. That gives you 1,000. So that's the change in income, and then you have to do 7,250 minus 6,500. Gives you 750.
Then you divide it.
And then you do 750 divided by 1,000. That gives you 0.75.
I did that one wrong, so I'm
Where
going
did you get that equation?
Well, from the textbook, but I also looked at the teacher's study guide on page 2, this teacher study guide.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if I can see it.
There, I'm bringing it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have it up. Yeah.
All right, so Bravo.
So MPC is equal to increase in consumption divided by increase in income.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I know I saw it in the book somewhere, but I had printed this out and I knew exactly where it was when I...
Okay, yeah, I just want to make sure I'm using the right equation. So yeah, that would make sense with that. Okay. Although when you plug that number in, I guess the yeah, because I averaged this stuff out and then I did work.
Yeah, you don't average. It's the increase of the consumption and the increase of the income. So it's the larger number minus the smaller number.
The difference. Yep.
Difference.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Number 13, I had some trouble with, but I think I reasoned the right answer. I got delta for number 13.
That's what I got.
I guessed on that one, so I'm good with delta.
Yeah,
so the way I reasoned was the money demand. Where is it? Yeah, the demand for money, when it increases, the interest increases. So the opposite is true. So when the money demand goes down, the interest goes down.
Yeah. Well, not only that, but with GDP, that's based off consumption and production. So when we're consuming, you're spending more. You know, if it's going to be rising, if it's falling, it means people are spending less, needing less money. Miles was also a thought that I had. So. All right. For 14, I got Charlie.
Yep, same here.
Same here.
Good. Got that one right.
How did you get that one right, but you didn't get 12? Isn't that...
No, it's a different equation.
Yeah, it's a different equation. That's the multiplier equation. That's right.
That's right. That's because I used that same equation for number 12. I didn't read through the study guide until after I did the homework. So,
Carson's probably on
My contribution.
Your contribution. You provide a feminine air to the group. That's your contribution.
I appreciate you, Heather.
My thanks.
I'll do.
You're all liars, and I appreciate the effort.
So who wants to take a stab at 15? I think I figured that one out right.
Well, according to this, now I'm rereading it. I should have used a different equation, but My best thought was D, delta.
Yeah, I chose Bravo.
I guessed at Bravo. So.
Bravo
So-
makes sense to me now that I understand the equation.
So the MPC is equal to 0.64, which gives a multiplier of 2.78. So is that kind of following what you guys, the way you started off?
No, because I used the wrong equation.
Okay.
But thinking about the way that the equation should have worked, that makes sense.
So when you choose B, basically you're going 550 times the multiplier 2.78, which gives you 1529. Which you think, well, that's not the right answer, but it says there's a small operative crowding out effect, so that could bring it down to 1500. So that's why I chose that one.
I used the wrong equation, and my multiplier was like, what was it?
I bet it was 0.84.
5.5. It was some really weird number. And I'm like, this doesn't sound right, but I got close with D. So I'm like, okay. But yeah. So B is good. Okay. For 16, I got D as well.
I got delta.
Yeah, I put delta.
I chose Charlie, and I wrote a page number here and why I did that. Let me look that up. Page 468. Investment accelerator means a positive feedback from demand to investment. Last paragraph on 268.
Yeah, and I found that as well. But the reason why I chose D is that because it talks about spending and investment. It also talks about how. Let me just read the questions.
Because in the question it says there are no crowding out or investment accelerator effects.
So I took it as which of these factors could lead to greater increase than what was initially paid into them. It talks about that specifically with government spending. That's the example that they use. Is if the government spends $20 billion buying planes from Boeing, how that would affect the shifting demand to the right. Exports are going to do the same thing. It's just going to add more capital, add more money to the market. So that's why I thought it was D. I never found anywhere where it says any of these things don't shift the demand to the right.
Yeah, the more I look at it, it looks like A and B certainly can be right as well. So that would make D. Can't see any reason for them not to be okay.
Yeah, that's what
I don't remember where it is, but there's a part in the book where it says, they talk about government spending, but then they say anything that goes into GDP can shift it.
Yeah.
It's delta.
Yeah, gotta be.
Don't ask me how I know that, but it's just I got this sick feeling it's supposed to be delta.
The odds are when there's an all of the above, the chances are pretty good that it is.
That's true.
Not always, but it's actually better than not.
Which one are we on now?
17.
Oh, I got a delta for that.
Yeah, I did too.
I did not.
It made me mad because it was on the other page, and I'm like, "What the crap? There's not on here. Where is it?" And then,
so I was tossing between A and alpha and delta.
Yeah, me too.
But I finally reasoned that it was delta. I'm just trying to figure out why I did that.
I couldn't tell you why.
Because it needs to reduce the aggregate demand. That's what I wrote.
For some reason, I thought a decrease in the money supply would reduce interest rates, but I think that's wrong now. The reason why is the Fed's supposed to stabilize, keep the economy stable, right? So that I know it's a decrease in the money supply.
Yeah, so it has to move the aggregate demand to the left, which is a decrease in demand. So that's why I chose delta, because that's equivalent to a decrease in demand.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay, for number 18, there was an all of the above, so I chose that. Delta.
I
No,
did as
I
well.
actually looked at it, and I do think that Delta is the right answer.
It is.
I was pretty sure about a couple of them, but I thought, well, if two of them look right, then the third must be right.
Right.
That's the way I look at those. 2 out of 3 isn't bad.
That's
So,
right. Meatloaf, he said it best.
Number 19.
I got Charlie.
Charlie.
I chose Charlie too.
Yeah. And then
Somebody wants to answer number 20.
You just have a question.
Just
I'm
answer
going to
it.
answer number 20.
Just answer it.
I got Charlie.
I chose Alpha, and I got a page number. Let's see if I can remember why.
No, I know that's. I found it where it says the opposite of that.
Of A?
Yeah.
Yeah, I chose Alpha. That's what I had.
I read that section like 2 or 3 times and could not figure it out. So
On 476, it talks about it in here.
Yeah, the first paragraph on 476.
Oh, maybe I just
It says the claim
I
that
didn't look
Fairly
far,
clear,
far
but-
enough.
It didn't say it exactly.
Yeah, it says they claim that these policy instruments should be set to achieve long-run goals. They admit that money. It says they admit that the monetary and fiscal policies can stabilize the economy in theory. So, A is they don't believe, even in the theory, that fiscally the policy. So it's not A, for sure. It's the last sentence on the first paragraph on page 476.
Yeah.
I found that. It also talks about how that policies and instruments should be able to achieve long run goals. That means it's not
But
B.
but they're talking
Bravo.
about long run goals. They support long run goals. That's what they're talking about. That's the way I interpreted that.
Exactly. So I know it's not Alpha and I know it's not Bravo. So it's either Charlie or Delta. And I couldn't find anything that talked about, and I couldn't find anything really on the other two.
Well, those are the two I was trying to choose from. Alpha
Well, with
and Charlie.
fine tuning the economy, that would all be short run stuff, which they don't believe in. You don't fine tune in the long
Yeah, I
run.
think it specifically says they do not fine tune.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That somewhere.
So it has
That
to
was
be C.
So that's what I put C for. Although it doesn't necessarily, what does it say in here? Like the phrasing, they use the word lag a lot. There's nowhere that says like long lived. They use the word lag. This could also work with lag, but that was referring to why it's not beneficial. So my best guess was Charlie.
I'm good with it.
Yeah, I think I'd choose that one too.
All right.
Sounds good.
So is
All right.
anybody else getting stressed out about this exam?
Yes.
Yeah.
I get stressed out over every exam, so it's really
Right.
no different.
19 out of 20.
I don't even know if I'm going to have time to review the other chapters. These 20 and 21 are going to bog me right down trying to get.
Who's ready for the accounting exam?
The one due tomorrow? Or
Yeah.
the one at the end of that?
Yeah, no.
All I gotta get is better than a D, and I'll pass the class, hopefully. So
Woot!
It's called the law of averages, my friend.
if
Law
I
of
do, I will cry. If I get a D, I will cry.
So Carson, just don't get a D, man. That's
I'm
pretty-
gonna try and get something that's better than a D. So
See, there you go. That's all you got to do.
hi, little man.
I take it the accounting's tougher than this course then, huh?
Not
I
because
think
of-
it's way easier. I hate
It's
Yeah.
tougher if you're bad at accounting.
this. I hate it.
Yeah, Heather and I, she's the yin to my yang here. I I kind of get the econ stuff, and she really gets the accounting stuff. So put together, we're a pretty average student.
Teach your son how to do finance.
I wish the
all together, huh?
I wish the economics had more math. That's what I can do better.
He's a creeper. Go to bed.